Once upon a time, in a small village nestled deep within the mountains, lived a young and curious boy named Sajan. Sajan was known for his intelligence and keenness to explore the world around him. One day, as he wandered through the village, he stumbled upon a Buddhist temple. Intrigued by the peaceful atmosphere and the teachings he had heard about Buddhism, he decided to enter. Inside the temple, Sajan found himself in the presence of a wise and serene monk named Master Yuji. The monk's eyes sparkled with wisdom as he welcomed the young boy and invited him to sit. Sajan felt an immediate sense of calm and tranquility in the presence of Master Yuji. The monk began to share his wisdom with Sajan, teaching him about the essence of Buddhism and the power of an empty mind. He explained that our minds are often cluttered with worries, desires, and attachments, preventing us from experiencing true peace and happiness. Master Yuji stressed the importance of letting go and emptying one's mind to attain inner clarity. Intrigued by the concept, Sajan asked the monk how one could achieve such a state of mind. Master Yuji smiled warmly and said, "My young friend, achieving an empty mind is a journey, one that requires discipline, practice, and self-reflection. Allow me to share with you a story that illustrates the essence of emptiness." Sajan eagerly nodded, settling himself more comfortably on the floor, ready to listen to the story. Long ago, in a bustling city, there lived a wealthy merchant named Ananda. Although he possessed great wealth and material possessions, Ananda found himself burdened by worries and anxieties. He constantly sought more wealth, believing it would bring him happiness and fulfillment. One day, news of a wise sage reached his ears. The sage was said to possess the secret to true happiness. Driven by his desire for lasting happiness, Ananda embarked on a journey to meet the sage. After traveling for days, he arrived at a modest cottage where the sage resided. Ananda eagerly shared his concerns with the sage, explaining how he felt trapped in a cycle of desire and dissatisfaction. The sage listened intently, and then, with a gentle smile, he handed Ananda a small wooden box. "Inside this box lies the key to finding true happiness," he said. Ananda, filled with excitement, opened the box, only to find it empty. Perplexed, he looked at the sage, hoping for an explanation. The sage spoke, "Ananda, true happiness lies not in the accumulation of material possessions but in the emptying of the mind. Just as this box is empty, so too must your mind be emptied of desires, attachments, and worries. Only then can you experience the peace and contentment you seek." Ananda pondered the sage's words, realizing the depth of their meaning. He returned to the bustling city, determined to empty his mind and find lasting happiness. But the journey was not easy. Every day, Ananda practiced meditation and mindfulness, observing his thoughts and emotions without judgment. He gradually learned to let go of his desires, allowing them to arise and pass away without clinging to them. He discovered the beauty of simplicity and found joy in the present moment. As he let go of his attachments, Ananda noticed a profound change within himself. The worries that had once burdened him seemed insignificant, and a deep sense of inner peace began to fill his being. He realized that the true source of happiness lay within him all along. Over time, Ananda's transformation became apparent to those around him. People admired his peaceful demeanor and sought his advice on finding happiness. Ananda became a beacon of light, spreading the wisdom of an empty mind far and wide. One day, Sajan, now a young man, stumbled upon Ananda's presence during his travels. Intrigued by the serenity radiating from him, Sajan approached him and shared his own desire to find inner peace. Ananda listened compassionately to Sajan's story, his eyes sparkling with familiarity. He knew that Sajan was ready to embark on the same journey he had once undertaken. Ananda became Sajan's mentor, guiding him on the path to an empty mind. Together, they delved into the teachings of Buddhism, meditating and reflecting on the impermanence of life. Sajan learned to embrace change and let go of his fears, allowing his mind to become a vessel for wisdom and compassion. As the years passed, Sajan became known as a wise and compassionate teacher himself. He dedicated his life to helping others discover the transformative power of an empty mind. Through his teachings, many souls found solace and embarked on their own journey toward inner peace. And so, the wisdom of emptiness spread far and wide, transcending borders and reaching hearts of all backgrounds. The story of Sajan, Ananda, and the teachings of Buddhism continues to inspire generations, reminding them that true happiness lies not in the accumulation of possessions but in the emptiness of the mind. As the tale of Sajan and Ananda teaches us, we too can find peace and happiness by emptying our minds. By letting go of desires, attachments, and worries, we can experience the profound joy that arises from within. The journey to an empty mind may be challenging, but it is a journey worth embarking on, for it leads to the ultimate liberation of the soul. And so, my friends, remember the story of Sajan and Ananda whenever you find yourself burdened by worries or desires. Embrace the teachings of Buddhism and strive to empty your mind, for it is in emptiness that true happiness resides. May your journey be filled with peace, love, and enlightenment. As Sajan continued on his path of self-discovery, he encountered various challenges and obstacles. Life tested his resolve, presenting him with temptations and hardships that threatened to pull him away from his pursuit of an empty mind. During one particularly difficult period, Sajan faced a personal loss that left him heartbroken and filled with grief. The weight of his emotions threatened to consume him, and he found himself struggling to maintain the serenity he had worked so hard to cultivate. In the depths of his despair, Sajan sought solace in his teachings and the memories of his mentor, Ananda. He reminded himself of the wisdom he had learned, that emptiness does not mean the absence of emotions, but rather the ability to observe them without becoming attached or overwhelmed. With renewed determination, Sajan embraced his grief and allowed himself to fully experience the pain. He acknowledged the impermanence of life and found solace in the knowledge that all things, including his suffering, would eventually pass. As time went on, Sajan's heart began to heal, and he emerged from his darkest days with a newfound strength and resilience. He realized that the key to an empty mind was not to suppress or deny emotions, but to acknowledge them with compassion and let them flow through him without resistance. Empowered by this insight, Sajan expanded his teachings to include the importance of self-compassion and acceptance. He encouraged his students to embrace their emotions, both positive and negative, as valuable teachers on the path to enlightenment. Sajan taught them that the journey toward an empty mind was not about escaping or suppressing their experiences, but about embracing them fully and learning from them. Word of Sajan's teachings and the transformative power of an empty mind continued to spread far and wide. People from all walks of life flocked to hear him speak, drawn by the authenticity and wisdom that emanated from his being. As Sajan's influence grew, he found himself surrounded by a community of like-minded individuals who shared his passion for spiritual growth. Together, they created a sanctuary of learning and support, where individuals could come to empty their minds and find solace in the collective journey toward inner peace. Sajan's teachings transcended the boundaries of the village, reaching neighboring towns and cities. His reputation as a compassionate and enlightened teacher spread even to the distant corners of the world, inspiring people from all cultures and backgrounds to seek the path of an empty mind. Throughout his life, Sajan remained humble, always acknowledging that he was but a vessel for the timeless wisdom of Buddhism. He recognized that his journey toward an empty mind was ongoing, and that each moment presented an opportunity for deeper understanding and growth. As Sajan approached the later years of his life, he reflected on his journey with gratitude and contentment. He had dedicated his existence to the pursuit of an empty mind, and in doing so, had touched the lives of countless individuals, guiding them toward their own awakening. With a peaceful smile on his face, Sajan peacefully passed away, leaving behind a legacy of love, compassion, and the transformative power of an empty mind. And so, the story of Sajan continues to resonate through the ages, reminding us of the profound truth that lies within each of us. It is a reminder that true happiness and inner peace are not elusive goals